Canning can be intimidating, especially if you've never done it before. But I'm here to tell you that you can do it even if you've never done it in your life. There are tools out there that you can use that will make your life easier and are pretty much hands-off. In this video, I am excited to share a little bit with you about pressure canning. During our Gulf Coast Homesteader meetup last year, we got to connect with the owners and operators of Denali Canning. They are based out of New Jersey, and during the 2020 food shortage, they figured out that there needs to be more than one company around to provide canning supplies to the public because everything was gone. You couldn't find food, you couldn't find canning jars, you couldn't find lids, nothing. So they turned around and made a business out of it, and they are US owned and operated here in New Jersey. They provide a lot of different tools such as lids and rings as well as pressure canners to the public that you can order. I have a discount code for you that I will drop down below that you can use if you're needing to buy some lids or rings or any kind of other supplies. They've got a great selection there, and they sent us a pressure canner. Boop. All right, let's see. This is awesome. Let's see here. Rack. Ta-da! Here we go. Simple. This will go on the bottom because you do not want your jars. You don't want your jars to sit right on the pot, because we don't need any glass explosions. Technically, here we go. Close. Boop. We got our gauge right here. That's our weight. And we're done. Look at that! How awesome a canner. I am super excited about it. They sent us this pressure canner a couple of weeks ago, and I've been gone, so I haven't been able to open it up and use it, but I have about 30 pounds of carrots that I need to do something with. Pressure canning is something that I grew up with, that my grandma did all the time. I don't think there was one day in the kitchen that she didn't use the pressure cooker. Whether that was for making broth or preserving food by pressure canning, that tool was around all the time. So I never really grew up fretting it or being too scared about it. However, up until now, I have never personally used a real pressure canner before. I've been using my electric pressure canner that also doubles as a water bath canner. However, I haven't done a real pressure canner, and I have been looking to buy one because living in Florida, oftentimes we go through storms, we lose power. I wanted a tool that I could use regardless on whether we have power or not. A pressure canner, a manual pressure canner, I'll be able to use on the gas stove outside. I'll be able to use it with other methods in order to be able to preserve food away even when we don't have power. And carrots is one of those foods that you can't water bath can. If you are new to canning, there are certain foods that you are able to safely process with a water bath, and then there are certain foods that need pressure canning. The difference between the two is basically the level of acidity in that food. So anything like carrots, potatoes, and vegetables like that, when it comes to broth, this is something that you have to pressure can, and in order to basically kill off any kind of harmful bacteria and make sure your jars are sealed correctly. I never thought I was going to grow carrots because they seemed very hard to grow. But last year I started a couple up and they turned out really good. This year I put bunches more in the ground and we harvested a good amount of carrots. We eat quite a bit of carrots here, but of course they only keep for so long fresh. It's a root vegetable, so technically they keep for a fairly long time in the fridge in a dark place, and there are different ways to preserve it. However, in hot and humid Florida, it's not as easy to keep these root vegetables fresh as somewhere up north in the cellar. So we are going to can them away, and all we need is our jars, our carrots, water, salt, and our pressure canner. That's it. So I'm gonna walk you through a simple carrot canning recipe that I ran across the other day. My friend Constance at Cosmopolitan Cornbread, she has an amazing website with lots of different recipes. And when I was harvesting my carrots the other day, I was looking around for some simple and easy pressure canning recipes for carrots. Constance got one up, so I will share that link down below as well. And I'm going to use her recipe to can these carrots, and I'll walk you through the process. I promise you, it sounds scarier than it is. Technically, all a pressure canner does is it locks in order to build pressure inside to be able to boil water at a higher temperature than the boiling point. That's really what we're looking for with a pressure canner, and that's all we're going to do. We're going to can our carrots, we're going to get them in the pressure canner, we're going to get them sealed up nicely, we're going to pressure can for 10 to 15 minutes depending on the size of the jars that you're going to use. You have to adjust your timing, and then we're going to be good to go, and these carrots are going to be good for a while. I'm really excited to show you this and to try out my pressure canner and walk you through every single step here. If you've never canned before, I'm trying to show you simple and easy recipes that you can easily try out for yourself at home. Canning doesn't have to be scary. It's a fairly simple process, and people have been doing it for many, many years. There's nothing really to be afraid of. If you are processing your jars correctly and your foods correctly, a simple smell test when you're opening up your can should tell you if the food went bad or not. So I hope in this video you learned something. I hope I made it a little less scary for you to use the tools that you have and try out something new and try out a simple recipe, get more familiar with the tools to then graduate to something maybe a little more scary. I'm filming. You on camera? Wait. Let me start over.